All right.
Hold on, let me start the hoo-ha.
Gotta get into combat mode.
Okay, we're back. Combat mode engaged. He's got his hood on. All right.
All right. Are we back?
Yep.
All right. Everyone, roll your initiative.
13.
19. No. 19.
Okay. Let's get one for George. He rolled 10.
George.
13.
Okay.
20.
20 for about 20. And let's get one for our friend. Okay, so Hope and Stanley, you can choose who goes first between the two of you.
If you want to go first.
Yeah, I'll go first.
Okay. All right. So this thing is awoken. It had risen and it's standing on these humanoid stubby legs with 4 toes, and they, as it stomps across its lair, moving towards you, it splays its 4 tentacles out in a show, and then it opens its mouth. And as it opens its mouth, you see a row of teeth on either side, long, jagged, and poorly kept for, wild and feral. Hundreds of teeth in this deformed, and a large tongue begins swirling. The tongue is sort of this long, narrow thing, and then at the end, it moves out, and it looks like it has a slappy end. And on the tongue, you can see these little tiny suction cups that naturally formed on it as it runs towards you. And you, Varel, look up at your oncoming assailant. You are first to act.
Cool. It's actively in motion, right?
Yep, it's running towards you.
It's not video game curling, gonna do a roar and then stand there for 3 rounds while it...
It's charging towards you.
Excellent. Then I would like to take... All right, so looking at it, looks like it's got about 10 feet of tentacleage. So I'm going to take 2 steps back and drop the shotgun, pick my sword up where I stabbed it in the ground, and ready both attacks for when there are tentacles coming or tongue coming my way.
Just before we confirm this if a quick assessment does show that his tentacles are quite long and that he can reach out his body length, probably. Just a quick assessment that his reach is quite long.
Yes, so I have positioned myself 15 feet from the center of the 2 stalactites, mites, and I assume that would be the end of the tentacles and or tongue lashing my way.
All right. Nash, it is your turn.
Okay.
Oh, and I enter my rage.
Sorry, did you ready anything, Varel?
I enter my rage, and I readied both attacks for when it was in range.
When it's in range. So do you have reach on your greatsword, or is it just within a 5-foot square?
Just the 5 foot.
Okay, and you're just to attack anything that belongs to the creature. Okay, cool. All right, Nash, your turn.
Okay. So I've got this problem. I'm out of slots 2nd level. I'm out of slots 3rd level. I have 2 slots 1st level. And as a defensive measure, I would like to mold earth. It's a cantrip.
Okay. Yep.
And the earth I want to mold is in front of us, and I want to build a little bit of some additional cover as needed. So if we need it, great. If we
so
don't,
you can mold earth in a 5-foot by 5-foot square. Is that right?
Correct, and the radius stuff that we learned over the last couple of weeks still applies, I believe.
Excavate it, move it. So you're going to excavate a hole somewhere and move that 5-foot cube of earth in front of you as cover.
Yeah. The problem is we're up on we're on like a bit of a hill here, right?
That's right.
Okay.
But you don't have any cover in front of you, and it stands way high. It stands taller than you. It's 20 feet tall.
Okay, so what I'd like to do is take... Actually, let me think about this for a second. Yeah, I want to take it from there
Okay.
and put it here, just to create actual cover. I assume that also gives me line of sight problems, but I would rather have the cover.
Put a little thing there so you can see.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean it's 5 feet tall, so yes, you are also blocked from seeing anything past it.
All right. That's all I'm gonna do because that's kind of
there's a
all
hole on your left, a 5-foot hole on your left.
kind of all I have right now.
Okay.
I am gonna move though.
Mm-hmm.
Um.
Into the hole, and then I move the earth back on top.
Yeah. Just bury me. That'd be fine. Actually, no, I'm not gonna move. I'm gonna call that good, and I'm gonna yell, "Take cover if you need it." There's really not a lot of cover there for me and 2 people.
And as you yell, "Take cover if you need it," you hear shouts from up top going, "Get him!" Yeah! You hear this sort of chorus as like Guzzlegang and Tikar from the top begin cheering on this creature, and the creature barrels itself down towards Varel. Let me just see what his movement is. That's the light. 5. All right, it barrels itself down in order to be closer, running towards you. It is it with 1, 2, 3? All right, it's still on its way to you. Not its arms, its tentacles flailing out, Varel, but it doesn't close enough distance in order to reach you quite yet.
Cool.
And actually, well, I'm going to move one more here since it'll use its dash action. And it's by the stalagmite, and its arms, as it gets near the stalagmite, its arms whip around, and they pass in front of you, but not close enough for you to attack them, as it stops short of the cliff that you're standing on. And the cheers from above are like whistling and yelling and, "Yeah, get him! Show him who's the master! Justice!" As you hear these sort of loud yells from the top. Stanley, your turn.
Alrighty.
Varel's the kind that would probably think it was them rooting for him.
Okay.
I do.
Yeah, I like that.
I am not sure where this actual like drop would be, so I'm gonna start moving to the south. You just tell me if it's gonna end up being a drop. I would just drop down, or if it's gonna be.
Down. You can
Okay.
drop down easily. Yeah, won't cost you movement.
I'm gonna move about 20 feet to right there. And then I am going to turn, and I am going to cast Phantasmal Force at the creature. And the illusion that I want to conjure for it is I want to have it surrounded by additional Varels.
Okay, wait a second.
I wanted
Are
to
they
see.
all wielding giant swords,
Craft
or
an
do they have
illusion.
different weapons for this?
That takes root in the mind of a creature. The target must make an intelligence saving throw. On a failed save. All right, so let's start with the save, because we can do that easily. What's the save DC, please?
16. Intelligence 16.
Well, it's a 1. So
Oh no.
you're good. You're good there. Let's continue. You could have no larger than a 10-foot cube that is perceivable only to the target for the duration. Spell has no effect on undead or constructs. Sound temperature. Okay, target uses this action.
So however many additional Varels I can get in a 10-foot cube, that's what I want him to see.
How many can you make? I don't think there's a limit on it's a 60 the range area. It says 60 foot. It's no larger than a 10-foot cube, so you can make 4 Varels.
All right, I want
Where do you
4
want me to put-
additional Varels.
Okay, just one sec while I conjure them. Okay, where are you putting them?
Well, they have to all be in a 10-foot cube, right? So they'd have to be pretty close to one another.
Right, but where are you putting them? Your range is 60 feet on where. 60 feet, I think, is the range on who you can cast it on. So, I guess that means you can put him wherever you think you want him to be. See them.
I would want them up by actual Varel to confuse any targeting.
Okay. That's sorry. They're not there. No one else can see them. Just to be clear, only the Froghemoth can see it. And to be clear for everyone at home, Stanley has run up behind the monster and cast his magic from behind him mentally. So as no one sees anything. You just put your hand up. Is there any? You have your.
It's everything.
Touch your megaphone. You say some magical words, and touch your hand up with a mimetic motion. And the Froghemoth, everyone just sees the Froghemoth like just sort of move around, and his tentacles like recoil back, and sorry.
Does he see 5 times 5 Varels because he has 5 eyes?
Well, I don't think that's how his vision works.
I don't know. Do you see 2 of everything because you have 2 eyes?
Well, no. That presumes a Froghemoth's 5 eyes are all about creating peripheral single vision. I don't know. It's like a fly where they get to see all the little duplicates of people, or maybe that was just in a movie. I don't know. No, it's fine. I just was curious. It'd be great if he thought it was like, what is that? 5 times 5. I can't think straight.
25?
20. Yeah, 20. It'd be funny if there are 25 Varels in his vision.
It's a lot of Varels.
Keep in mind that if the Varels attack him, they can do psychic damage to him. Okay. So he sees the Varels. Now, do the Varels work on their own turn, or do you control them on your turn? I guess they would work on their own, right?
Yeah, I think that's kind of how they would work.
All right. So can I get a initiative roll for them, please?
Okay.
You have to add your intelligence modifier. Make it just roll and add your intelligence.
The Varel's initiative is 12.
Okay. Perfect. I think that's how it works, right? Yeah, so the illusion can't move, or can it move?
I think it can move. Well, maybe it can't.
It can't.
Hold on.
So, like, because the example it used here is like to make a fake pit so people think they fall in it.
Right. Yeah, I think they're stuck in that spot.
Okay, that's no
But
problem.
if he gets close enough, they can take some swings at him.
Yeah, because the creature will believe it's real.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So you run up behind him, cast your magical spell, and the Froghemoth sort of, from his back, you can see his head moving around. He's making noise. All right.
And then I will finish my movement. Sorry, that was only 20 feet of movement.
Okay.
I'll go 25, 30, and that's where I'll end my turn.
Okay. Hope, it's your turn. Remember, you have reduced movement speed and disadvantage on ability and saving. Is it saving throws as well?
It's...
No, just ability checks.
Ability checks. All right, so seeing this craziness going on, Hope's going to get very focused on reaching that crevice in the wall that she saw. So she's going to take 2 move actions this turn to move 30 feet.
Okay, so you're going to dash. You move. Oh, you move 30 to dash, but limp dash.
Yeah, kind of like a bouncy thing, right? Little boingy, boingy, boingy.
Like the lady from the raptor.
Oh
power
yeah,
room.
when she hurts her leg in Jurassic Park.
Yes,
Kind
gotcha.
of does that little hobble, yeah.
All right. George follows after you, I mean. And he can keep up with you on his turn, so he follows behind you. And then he looks, he just stays behind you. You just hear him. He's holding onto your tail as you run. The Varels, it would be their turn, but they're motionless. They can't move, so... and no one else can see them but the Froghemoth. So let us go back to Varel.
The Varels. Don't forget, honey, the Varels are coming over Saturday for bridge and dinner. They sound like a family.
Man, they make such a mess.
So, Varel, you don't see anything in front of you, but you notice that the Froghemoth's attention, its 3 eyes are darting everywhere as it looks around, not at you, but at the ground in front of you. And it looks poised to strike the ground in front of you.
Awesome.
And you did see Stanley move to the back and do some sort of magic thing, but you're unclear what that was about.
He's out of my sight, actually, so I have no idea what's going on back there.
Okay.
I guess I would assume that I'm being awesome and that he's overwhelmed by my heroic presence. So I will advance inside of Varel I don't know is there.
Yeah, you can totally do that. That's not blocking your movement.
Cool. And and the crowd is cheering in my ears, and I think it's all for me, and I'm like, come on, and I'll flame burst, hitting it just on the edge of the aura for the 3
Okay.
points of damage.
Is there a save for that damage or no?
No save.
All right. One. All right. Perfect. So the flames, they flame out and they, hit his skin. You can see it doing damage, but it doesn't appear to react to it.
And I will save my 2 attacks for when limbs are in range.
You're gonna ready for when limbs are in range. Okay. Nash, your turn.
All right, I'm going to move. So that's 30. Or no, that's 15.
It's 10.
I'm sorry, that's 10. Wait a minute. Oh no, you're right. Wait,
Yeah,
the
5 by
measurement
5
thing's
feet
off.
Squares.
Hold on a second. Oh yeah, you're right. Something got weird there. All right, and I'm going to move another 10 this way.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go right here. And from around this corner, well, you'll have to tell me if I can do this. I'm just going to fire off a fireball from here, if I can.
Do you have the slots for fireball?
I do, because...
Did you cash in your sorcery points?
Not fireball, firebolt, I'm sorry.
You do. How many sorcery points do you have though?
I don't know. I can look. Hold on.
Yeah, because you.
I always
did
forget where they
use
put
some
those.
to do a twin spell.
I did
but I
twice.
think you-
Or I did a careful spell and a twin spell. But I can't find the... Where are the points again? I always forget where they put these.
Yeah, I always have a hard time finding them on your. Oh, this is talents. No wonder.
Features,
It's on under
traits.
actions, sorcery points. Yeah, so you only have one left. It looks like.
Yeah, so I don't... That's not going to really do me any good.
No.
So I'm
All
going
right.
to do... I'm going to do a firebolt from there.
All right, attack roll +7,
Yep.
and it's 2d10 now for damage if you hit.
To hit, we are... Oh. We're a fat 1.
You rolled a 1.
I rolled a natural 1, Bo.
Uh-oh.
Gosh dang it.
Metal
You go
Nash?
to fling out your firebolt, and it just the magic. It's just off.
Yeah.
Your connection to the weave is off, and as you fling it out, you set your hand on fire.
Oh, damn it. Wait,
take-
can't it just be a bad shot? It has to... All right, fine. Go ahead.
Set your hand on fire. Your hand is now on fire. At the start, you're going to take a small amount of damage. Take 6 damage, and you have to put the fire on your hand out now.
Okay. Well,
There's a magical fire burning in your hand at this point. And you shake, you're like, shit! As you
I'm,
shake
I'm gonna get... Can I go down to the dirt and just, like, pound it into the dirt and cover it with dirt?
well, you've used your actions, so I'll allow it.
You'll
All
allow
you put
it?
right down to, it's a free action. You put your hand right into the dirt and you start throwing dirt on
Yeah, I start throwing dirt on it and putting it out. Hopefully putting it out.
Yeah. Anything else? You like to
No!
return?
It's embarrassing. No. Nothing.
Our grade A caster, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
So,
that's...
Varel, as you stand there, the frog hemoth looks and it swings its tentacles into your direction. So you're now able to make an attack on the tentacles
Cool.
if you choose to.
2 attacks on 10Ds. A 26 and a 11.
Okay. And you're still raging, right? Do you get advantage on attacks?
No, it's 2 attacks, 1, 2 from the 2 actions
Okay.
I've readied.
Okay, perfect. So 1 is a hit,
Cool.
the first one.
With Maw Storm. 14 points of damage.
Okay, 14. All right, you swing Moss Storm at one of the tentacles, and you miss, and then you swing again, and the sword connects into the tentacles and sinks in about halfway. The monster doesn't react because it's just this feral creature of aggressiveness, but you sink it in, and green blood just like this sort of spurt shoots from it as you stop it in its place and have it in there. Now you do have an opportunity to potentially grapple it if you choose to. Otherwise, you'll remove the sword.
Oh, right. I
Mosstorm.
think on the text for Mosstorm, I have to activate the bonus action, which I already used.
Oh yeah, you already did use a bonus action actually on your thing.
Flame
So,
burst.
so it's as you sink it in halfway, the tentacle just pulls itself right out and continues along, and you're unable to grapple it. Okay, was there anything else that you had queued up on?
That was it.
Ready? All right. So the tentacles fly out in front of it, and they fly upwards in this upwards motion. These two tentacles come up and they start slamming down. Let's see. So right next to you and not on top of. Wait, what's the plus 10? Okay, so they hit the ground right next to you, and the thing is, one of them looks like it went kind of wild and just this crazy hit. The other one slams on the ground. It looks like it hit at its intended mark, but its mark was not you, as it's dealing with some other strange thing. I'm not sure if you're able to interpret that. It just slams down next to you, and the ground shakes around you, and the force, like you just brace yourself a bit against the force of it hitting the ground, but it doesn't hit you. That's
Blind
his
with
turn.
rage against my beautiful form.
Stanley, your turn.
All right, I am going to move 30 feet down to be back behind here.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to go ahead and make it a dash. 5, 10, 15, 20. What can I perceive through the... Can I fit through this? Or is
You
this-
can just barely fit through if you turn your body sideways and squeeze through it. There's a crevasse in the back of the wall. But keep in mind, this whole back boulder and wall that's in there is covered with this green... Almost looks like it's glowing a little bit. These green little bulbous things, and they're like... And they're just like slimy and everywhere, and they sort of looks like they're pulsing a little bit, like getting a little bigger and getting a little smaller.
And they're on the wall too, so if I
It's
squeeze
piled
through
right up on the wall. Well, you might get some on you. Some of the gross green that's on this. I might serve as a lubricant moving your way through.
all right, well, let's be 15 and then
Alright.
20.
You slide through the crevasse and behind a boulder as you move through this small wall. And keep in mind that the walls are covered with this green. What are they? It's just like this goo. It's like Slimer goo. And you move towards the back wall, and you sort of notice as you're scanning around on the ground for some sort of clue, you see a rusted from centuries of neglect grate on the ground made of man-made metals.
Knowing that it's fairly loud and busy out there, I will turn around and shout, "It's in here!" And hope that that's enough to get to Hope and them at the very least.
All right. Well, speaking of hope, it's your turn.
Speaking of, would I have heard that over the din of
You did.
battle? Okay, cool. So what I'll do is I'll move forward 30, use my Habaldash, and that will be my turn as I determinedly force my way forward.
Okay, perfect. Oop, you move through bones as you like walk through and limp through. You see there's bones everywhere on the ground. These chewed areas. There's this trail of slime leading from where the froghemoth was resting all the way to where he's standing now, and it's all wet and gooey on the ground there. And there's bones kicked around. You get close to this giant pulsing pile of bulbs. I mean, if they're eggs, you don't know what this thing's eggs looks like, so you're not even sure if it's just eggs or droppings. It's just... But as you get closer, there's this smell of, like, It just smells unlike anything. It definitely is putrid, but not in a way that you could describe or be familiar with. All right. The Varels are not in range, the Varel illusion, so it's George, and George also follows along quietly and dutifully behind you, and he just whispers to you, Hope, he's like, shouldn't we help your friend?
He'll be fine. Just keep going.
He'll be fine. What?
He'll be. Do you want to go fight it?
He shuts up. Okay, Varel, your turn.
He lives for the
Nash
shit.
goes after me.
Yeah. So there's two tentacles now on the ground, and two more tentacles are rearing up. One of them is one you cut to strike again. And its mouth before you opens up, and it's large in there. You could fit a vehicle in there.
All right, I will use my flame burst to hit it for the 3,
Okay.
and I will back up the 2 again, trying to get it, between these 2 pillars. Come on, and ready the 2 attacks.
Okay.
One question, Bo. Not that it really matters because I don't think we're trying to kill it, but if one of those tentacles are on the ground, wouldn't the Varel that it tried to crush be able to hit it?
Oh, that's right. It is 20 feet. Good point. I didn't think of that. Yes. So as you move back, all right. Then let's make those attack. Do I make the attack rolls?
I do. It would just be 1d6. It's not a lot of damage.
That's a damage roll. I mean, if there's an attack, maybe there's no attack roll associated with it. I guess I'm just asking how it works, basically.
Oh yeah, I don't think there is. I think he just takes it.
Right. So if he falls into a pit, he just believes it, and it's not an attack roll.
Yeah.
All right. So I'll remember that for next time. As you move back, Pharrell, it draws the 2 tentacles, and it's like a creature reacting in pain. You see it sort of move its arms back and go, "Eee!" and look around at the ground in front of you as you move back. And roll your damage dice, please, John.
Oh.
Yeah.
2.
It rears back and slowly, quickly, pulls back the 2 bottom tentacles that it has on the ground. So, Varel, are you readying the same action as before for the tentacles?
Right, the 2 attacks for.
Okay.
And mechanics-wise, I'm using my flame aura to maintain an attack on the creature, so I can stay in my rage.
Gotcha. Nash, your turn. You
Sorry,
have your hand in the ground.
I'd
You're
muted
kneeling with your hand in the ground.
muted the mic so people couldn't hear that saw that just went off. All right. It's really annoying. I would like to work my way down to where they've gone,
Okay.
movement-wise. So
You can move for 30, or you can dash for 60.
Hold on, I want to just kind of estimate a little bit of something here. I mean, you know what? I am going to dash for 60. That's what I'm going to do.
Okay.
So let's see.
So it's a total. It'd be a total of I think 12 squares.
I can't get this damn. There we go. Actually, maybe. Yeah. All right, here goes. Moving him. That should be right there. I think that's it.
Yep. You run up next to George. George just gives you a quick glance. Fear, his eyes wide with fear and apprehension.
Now, can I? Damn it! This stalactite thing, whatever it is. No, I have line of sight here. I can do this.
I can see what you see. You do have the ability if you want to shoot something off. I think that's okay.
Yeah, I can hit him somewhere in this stuff. So another fire bolt.
But didn't you dash?
Yeah, you did dash.
Oh, I did
action.
dash.
You traded in your action for the
No,
ability to
I
dash.
forgot I dashed. Forget it. I'm good.
Cool.
I just go, hey, Hope, and I'm good.
All right. Before you, the froghemoth runs up again, rears up again in front of you, and it begins to clamber on up. Varel, let me get your line of sight here. It clambers on up, using one of its tentacles to hold on to the stalactite as it lifts itself up and even break. Like you hear crumbling on the stalactite or stalagmite, which is I'm going to get corrected on that one for sure. Um, as it pulls itself up and then uses its tongue to slam down on the ground in front of you. Why, you don't know. It just attacks down on the ground in front of you, and then uses what's the other thing that he has? And then uses one of his tentacles to also, and it looks like he's trying to loop his tentacle around like a snake and try to pull something. He loops it up and he tries to pull it, and then he pulls nothing but dirt and rock. He's gonna take that 1d6 damage again, Stanley.
All right. 6.
Okay. And then he just looks at his eyes like lower down into an aggressive stance at the ground, not at you, clearly, and like the little fleshy cord that it's attached to, that the eye cabinet is attached to, just sort of moves up, looks in the ground, and he goes as he shouts at the ground, battle cry in front of whatever's aggravating him. All right, Stanley, your turn.
Oh my gosh, I love that spell so much. Okay, I'm gonna just move a little closer to the grate to give room for other people to get in the room with me. I will pull out the megaphone, and basically I'm just standing by waiting to yell to Varel once I see everybody else is in.
Okay, so you're gonna ready an action once you see everyone else is
Yeah.
is in your area.
Yeah, once they've made it through the little section, I'm gonna just megaphone out to him that
As you get this ready, there's a slight hint of concern enters your mind as you look at the grate, noting that the rust and metal looks quite severe on it, and that there may be difficulty opening it.
oh.
Even with the key, like the key, where the place where you could kind of see maybe there's a pad or a keyhole, looks like it's filled with dirt and detritus and crusted on crap from centuries.
All right,
Feeling
let's
rust.
start prestidigitating, specifically focused on the lock.
All right, you start prestidigitating, trying to clear things away. It's gonna take several minutes. Every time you cast a prestidigitate, it gets rid of a tiny little layer, but it just seems endless, like an onion.
That's fine. I don't even have the key, so I'll get busy on this, I guess.
Okay, you get busy trying to magically clean the grate up. Hope, your turn.
All right, what I'm gonna do is I'll move 15 feet down, and then I'll look over to where Varel is fighting this monster, and I'll cast Thaumaturgy and make my voice 3 times as loud and shout to Varel, "It's time to go, Varel!"
It's like a demon voice, right? Too, right? Is that how, or is it anything you choose?
It says it booms up to 3 times as loud, but I will not say no to other whispers and.
Varel, how tastes your fear? Yes. All right, you say it's time to go to Varel. Do you want to give us a sampling of how it sounds?
Oh, we'd need the mixer plug, but yeah, could you do background? Varel, it's time to go.
Yeah, we'll say it together.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
Varel,
it's time to go!
You just hear Varel, it's time to go boom out. It doesn't appear to affect the frog behemoth as its concentration is firmly fixed on its prey in front of him. You yell that out. Varel, you hear this. All right, George, it's your turn. George just follows along really quickly, and you guys are sort of sidling up next to the eggs. And he goes, oh my God, these are disgusting.
Big help,
Hope will just
George.
shake her head.
Yeah, George is a big help.
Hope, they might be worth a lot. If we survive this, we could get rich.
George, if you take any of these, I'm gonna kill you.
Intimidation roll.
Let's see. 15.
He quiets up again and keeps his hands to himself. All right, Varel, your turn.
Have there been any of Stanley's signature pink magics flashing about in this damage?
No.
Okay.
You have no clue what's going on
I'm
visually.
just amazing. Hey, it's time to go. All right. Am I in range here? I know miniature-wise, I'm on the edge of maybe a huge creature, but would this be in range for the burst?
His square. Yes, it is. He's angled diagonally, so his square actually does overlap with your flame burst.
Cool. Oh,
Why
magical
is
Nash.
Nash over there?
Sorry. I'm trying to get a thing going. There we go.
Cool. I'm gonna flame burst
Okay.
and book it at my 40. So the 3 points of damage, and then there's that stalagmite I hid behind earlier that I'm gonna rush over to
Gotcha.
with the 40, and then as I sort of dive behind it, I'll make a stealth check
Okay.
with my action.
All right.
Not bad. Oh, 16.
16. Okay. Perfect. So you vault out of this line of sight of the froghemoth, and the froghemoth doesn't appear to follow you as you run. It appears focused intently on whatever's in front of it. You run out into the darkness, lean against the stalagmite, and remain still, like a predator.
Like a
And its
badass.
concentration is still there where the lights are. Where the lights are. Now, I just want to do a quick check on the phantasmal force, Stanley. It lasts
Yes.
a minute, which means it's 6 seconds. That's about 6. Is it 10 turns? Should last probably about 10 turns if we're 6 seconds a turn, right? Oh, I think my math is wrong there.
Yeah.
So yeah, 60 divided by 10 is 6.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So just make sure we're keeping track of that. I think we're on the second round or third round.
We're on
at this
turn
point.
3 of my rage as well. So.
Turn 3. Thank you for
Yeah.
tracking that for me. All right. So, Nash, it's your turn.
Okay. Okay, well, I'm going to scooch down a little bit. Oops. Let me get down here. I am going to scooch down next to Hope. And from there, I'm going to fire off another firebolt. Because at this
Okay,
range,
where
it's
we
all
should-
I've got. And to hit, it will be...
I think I fired at the froghemoth.
Yeah, sorry. 17. That's better.
Okay. Roll your damage, please.
Okay, at this level, I get 2
D10.
D10s. Yep. So it will be a total of 8 points of damage, a 5 and a 3.
Okay. 8 points of damage. All right. So you fire the flame bolt out, and it illuminates a small area as you see. Everyone sees the firebolt shoot out across the cave, and it hits it square in the back, and it sort of it makes this big explosion in its back, and the froghemoth with his one tentacle holding onto the stalagmite, and he swings a tentacle out back behind him, like the way like an elephant might clear off its back or something. Like it flails and aggressively to try and clear whatever it was that was behind him. Yeah,
Okay. End of turn.
that's what that does. All right.
How big are
Again,
by the way, how are these egg things on the ground before I end my turn? Are these things on the ground, are they big, small? Like, what's the relative size to like a
they're
human
each
hand?
is about the size of a blood ball.
Oh.
And they, you sort of take a quick look at them. You see that they are transparent, but have like this black pit and this like slime inside of them. They seem to like glow just a faint amount, like yellow. And then all of the balls are like covered in this goop, and there's a sort of goop puddle around it. Then on top of it, like if you think of the goop from like a face hugger egg in Alien,
Yeah.
when they pull it out, it looks like that.
Okay.
And there's just all on the ground.
I kind of
giant
want
pile
to,
of-
as a bonus action, can I reach down and touch one? I just want to touch one.
So as a free action,
Yeah.
you can interact with an object.
Yeah.
Bonus action you can only use if you have a feature that says to use a bonus action.
So just be a free action.
So you can only interact with one object, like to pick up an object or to drop an object.
I want to pick up one of these balls. Is this a bad
Okay.
idea?
You're gonna
It's your-
find
it's
out.
your turn, and you don't have time to consult with anybody, or you
Shit.
can just wait and consult with someone.
I'm just going to be tempted by it for now. We'll see next turn how things go in my head.
okay. All right. All right, so the frog hemoth, as it stands there, sort of fixated on the ground before it, it takes its tentacles again and smashes the ground, leaving these two giant pits where it smashes the ground in front of it, and then it looks like it's attempting to grab and pull and clutch, and its tongue flails out and feels the area in front of it, and you just hear a voice, "What's it doing? What the hell is it doing? Get him! He went north! He went north! Frogger! He went north!"
Frog.
You hear them all yelling at the beast that they don't know, they can't explain why he's doing what he's doing. They're telling him where you are, but I don't think he speaks English. Or common, I should say. Stanley, your turn.
All right. Continuing to prestidigitate. Focus would be the lock, but the way prestidigitate works is it's 1 cubic foot that it focuses on. So once I feel the lock is good, I would then be moving to hinges.
And the issue is, as you clear it off of the detritus of it, you notice that the metal has taken on a new shape over the centuries, and it may be very difficult to fix with just cleaning.
Okay.
Yeah, but you can't tell to what extent that damage is done. But you're done cleaning it off of detritus. It still may be very difficult to remove if it's molded into a new shape and fastened shut. You won't be sure until you try it. You try to break it, you try to open it. It just doesn't instill a lot of confidence at this point.
Okay. Well, I don't have the key, so this is the best I can do for right now.
You can put the try in detritus. Dad joke. Bing, 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 bing.
Hope, your turn.
All right. Seeing Varel run, confident that everyone's moving their way toward what I believe is going to be an easy escape, I'm going to dash in for 30 and start pulling the key out of my robes.
Okay.
Oh, I guess I don't need to dash.
No, you didn't.
Okay, so I'll hug this.
There, you can see the grate now on the map.
Mm-hmm.
And George follows in behind you as you guys sneak into the crevasse, and you see it before you. So you still have an action available if you'd like to do anything.
Cool. Well, so it's a free action to interact with an object, so I'll pull out the key.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll start going after the key lock, see if it'll fit and we can open it.
You sort of it's very clean, but again the grate looks rusted, sealed up. You find a space that looks like it would fit a key, and you slowly slide the key in, and you go to turn it a bit, and it pushes back against you. It feels like it's the right key, but it feels like there's resistance in it, and you feel like there's a danger of cranking it and snapping the key as you try to. So something in the mechanism isn't working quite right.
Okay. That's my turn.
All right. George just behind you, just goes, "Come on, Hope, you can do it. I know you can do it.
Of course.
Get
I
us
can
out
do
of
it.
here.
Shut up.
Come on, open it already." Varel, it's your turn.
All right, I will run from my spot in the north straight across the opening of the environment, passing past the creature for my first action. So
The
movement.
direction you've chosen isn't in the spotlight. Are you avoiding the spotlight or heading towards it?
I am in like the edge of the spotlight, correct?
Like, so if I look at the spotlight light, you are in the circle.
Oh, that right. There's a secondary spotlight. Okay,
There's
so that
two
wouldn't
spotlights in the area. Yeah.
there wouldn't be the cast shadow behind the creature. You're right. Okay, thanks for the update.
I mean, it still might miss you, but you'd be noticed by the people above.
Yeah, no. Okay, I'm gonna do my. I'll do my 40 to my first movement to the edge of the stalagmites where we were hanging out earlier before we started
Okay.
this fine plan.
Sure thing.
And then
as you move out of that direction, the spotlight goes up to the area you were just in. One of the spotlights to try and find you.
excellent. And I will use my second dash to make it to the back of this stalagmite over here by the eggs.
All right.
And upon arrival there,
You see
rage
Nash,
fades.
you see the eggs. Your rage fades, and you see the frog hemoth pounding dirt. Bah, bah, and you hear people from, "Where'd he go? He went north. Get him!" Nash, you're up.
All right.
The eggs glow before you.
Oh,
A coat of seductive slime splayed across it.
I wish I had my
They
staff.
shake and shiver and seem to move in this curious way that your mind finds enticing. Curious, from a scientific perspective.
Right. Okay. There's only two things I want to do. I want to touch one and then move. So my action is I want to squat down and I want to gently caress one.
This?
And just kind of like, what is this? Like what? And I want to see. I'm basically checking to see if I pulled one up, would it be a problem, or is there a heavy stock, or like how are these
All right,
attached?
so you want to caress it. We'll say that's a free action, and then you want to try and pull one from the cluster.
I want to just gently tug to see what kind of resistance there is, because I don't want to upset the whole apple cart here. In
Okay, so
case,
you take one of the baseball-sized spheres in your hand,
yeah,
and your hand immediately becomes like goopy.
Yeah.
There's like a layer of goop on it,
yeah.
and then you try to pull it from the cluster, and there's resistance as you sort of pull, almost like cheese from a pizza. As you pull, there's a sort of stringiness, and you pull, and you feel like you get it out with very small effort, and it's sort of, you make these sort of dimples in the sphere with your hand as you sort of press it a bit, see that you can put impressions on the surface. You pull it a bit, test it, it's definitely removable, and then you remove your hand from it because you were just testing it,
Yeah.
and you've got this like ectoplasm now all covered in your hand. It's yellowy and goopy and doesn't want to come off.
Okay.
So that's the one thing you want to do. That's an action and a free action. You still have a move and any features that may use bonus actions you can use as well.
Okay. Oh, you have no idea how tempted I am. But I don't want to stay. All right, I'm gonna move. Wait, where the hell is everybody? I want to go in here. There we go. I don't want to jump on top of Hope, but I want to get right there by Hope.
Yeah, you'll have to stand in the back. The crevasse is.
Oh, we already got somebody in there.
front of you, and he goes, "Oh, hey, quit bumping me. We're trying to get this open."
F you, George. I'm coming in. You little pecker. All right, I'll wait here then. Actually, I'm going to wait here, so I'm very close again to some eggs.
Okay, all right. The frog behemoth continues to pound the ground in front of it, smashing, making these big holes. They're like, God, Jesus Chrome, he went that way. Get him! Stop hitting the ground! As you hear the yelling from up top. Okay, where were we? We're at Nash. Yeah, Stanley, your turn.
Okay, this is 5 rounds now of that being out. Is there more room for me to move in here? Or
I mean, you
that's
can
on
stand
the
on. You
grate
can
at
stand on
that
top of the
point?
grate. It doesn't take the full 5 feet. That's just there because of.
Oh, okay. So I'm not like holding it closed by being here right now.
No.
Okay.
You can shuffle in and make room for everyone.
All right. I'm gonna continue to make room for people, and I'm gonna say to Hope. Hope, do you think with your new arm you could pull it apart?
I'd be happy to try.
If the key isn't gonna work, that may be the only way to force it.
Hope will nod and get a little.
So the grate
smile
is
on his
not
face.
bars. It's like a manhole cover, kind of, except you do see that there are places where you can grab onto with your fingers to lift the door, essentially.
Cool. And what kind of lock is it? Is it something where I could grab onto the lock itself and pull up? And
No, the
a
lock
grate
is in the
would-
grate itself, so there's no separate mechanism.
Gotcha. All right, cool. Well, I guess if it's my turn, I'll go ahead and position.
You are right after Stanley. So
All right, I'll position in front of the grate, and I'll squat down and get that metal arm in there, and just pull as hard as I can.
we will need an athletics check from you, please.
It's going
It's
to
a
work.
3.
Oh,
You pull as hard as you can, and you think you feel it give, and then you just didn't put enough of effort into it. But perhaps with some additional strength, you could pull it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And so George sort of moves in as well to get a better view of what's happening.
Great.
Moves in around you. Nash, your turn.
All right. I give George the bird. And then no.
Sorry,
just
excuse
kidding.
me. It's Pharrell's turn.
Oh,
Pharrell's
sorry.
turn.
Yeah, it is Pharrell's turn.
Yeah.
He gives George the bird.
Let's get some lizard muscle in here.
Yeah. George, get out of the way, you dumbass.
All right, I will use my move of 30 feet to enter the crevasse, and I find everyone else in there heaving a little bit. What's the hold up?
The
key
key
doesn't
isn't
work.
working in the lock. We're gonna need to
Key.
brute force it.
This lock, and I start to reach toward it.
Okay.
I'll back to the wall.
So we'll hope you still have a hand on it. So let's roll a group strength check from the two of you, please, as you both pull.
Ooh.
Strength check. Natural 20.
Woot!
It's a natty.
Woo!
All right. So as you're in the process of trying to pull it, still hope. Varel puts his one arm on the same thing you're holding, and he's like, "Ah!" as he yells, and he just yanks it, and the whole door comes flying from out of the hole, and then he lets go of it, and you still have it in your hand. You just sort of smash it against the wall, and it falls down to the ground with a huge thud. It's quite heavy. There's a passageway filled with darkness down below you. You see alongside one of the walls, there are these handholds, not a ladder, but these holds formed out of the rock that you can use to descend down.
I'm gonna start descending.
Well, it's Varel's turn, so
Ah!
you've just shown everyone up.
All right, that was all my actions.
That's all your actions. All right,
Rah,
it's
under the
Nash, it's your
wall.
turn.
Okay.
You hear a big commotion come from the crevasse.
Can I fit in there now?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. I don't have vision on it, so.
You can move here, and then I'll move you there, and then you can see the
Okay.
gate down below.
Okay. Oh, you know what I meant to do before I moved, though?
Grab an egg.
I want to grab an egg!
Well, we can do
Poplar.
that. Do you want to grab an egg? Grab an egg.
Yes.
That's
Okay.
okay.
I grab
So you reach
an egg and I
reach
pull
again
it
into
free.
the cluster of eggs,
Yeah.
and
Idea.
and then
Look
slime
at how excited Bo
covers
is.
your hand again, but this time it's more comfortable because you already have slime on your fingers. And
Yeah.
you sort of grab it, leaving an impression. It slips a bit. Then you gently, let's get a sleight of hand check.
Oh, shit. Oh, I'm scared.
You should be. What?
So-
Who said that?
17.
I thought it. I thought suddenly my thoughts had manifested in actual words.
You pull, and then you have it. You lift it up, and then you lift your hand upwards, and you have about the size of a baseball,
Yeah.
a large, translucent, glowing yellow sphere with a black pit in the middle,
Yeah.
covered in ectoplasm.
I will very quickly put that in my pocket and head down into the crevice.
Right. So add a froghemoth
All right,
sphere.
I'm doing it
So you're
now.
not quite
Okay,
sure what it
here's,
is.
here's a question though as we go forward. How bad does this thing smell? Would we be able to smell it in its pocket after we've left the proximity
Yeah.
of the
And can they
dirt
smell it
spheres?
through my otherwise normal smell that would probably mask
Well,
it?
there's a lot of spheres in the area and the cluster, so you can't tell how much one would smell versus the group at this juncture.
Oh, okay.
But it smells like just an unidentifiable body fluid. It is pungent, but you can't quite place your finger on. Like, it doesn't smell like anything a human makes, but it's
Okay.
pungent. It's unique. It's the first time you've ever smelled anything like that.
Uh-huh.
But it's definitely like causes a slight tinge of nausea. You guys are in such a
Good.
fight or flight mode that you're not really thinking about it too much, but it definitely doesn't smell good.
Okay, so here's the question. Is this called something I can add, or do I need to make a custom item?
You're just gonna have to. No, it's not. There's no item in D&D Beyond that
Okay,
you can add. You
that's
have
what
to
I'm wondering.
add manually in your notes. Or you can type it. A froghemoth sphere.
Okay, hold on. Frog
You can put
Hemoth.
egg in quotations. You're not sure what it is.
egg slash.
It could be
sphere.
it's poo as well.
Okay, it's in.
It could be boogers for all you know.
Hey, I'll check it out later, and I'll bet the group thanks me at one point.
How much you want to bet on that?
Yeah, let's
I
take
bet
that.
they do too. I bet they do too.
We'll see.
All right.
I have a feeling.
You pocket the froghemoth
Yep.
sphere,
And then I head into
and then
the.
you move in there, and you see that there's a hole opened up with handholds on the side of the cavernous wall to descend below.
Okay, I'm going. And people have descended. Who's descended?
Nobody's descended.
Nobody's descended.
Vorel just ripped it open.
Then I'm gonna stay and wait for
Okay.
team consensus here.
Stanley, so the frog's turn passes again. You hear him smashing the ground. You hear the yelling of people above, and you see the lights moving around, searching for assailants. You see it sort of heading towards back where the froghemoth is. You're not in the light, but the light's starting to approach your area.
All right, so this will
Spotlights.
be the last turn that the fake Varels are up. After this, they're gonna disappear. I will go ahead and start descending.
Okay, you descend down below. Stanley jumps in, disappears into the darkness below. You can see him travel about 30 or 60 feet as he descends the ladder. Who's next? Hope.
Yep, I'll start going down.
All right, you very carefully take your time as you move slowly down the ladder. Not nearly as quick as Stanley, moving 15 feet. Or 30 if you hurry, use your dash.
30.
George follows right after you. He goes, wait for me! He jumps in and he starts walking down the ladder.
Hey, George
Varel?
made it, everybody.
Great.
For now.
Is everyone else in, or is Nash still out?
I'm still out.
Nash is still out.
If it's
Cool.
my turn, I'll
I-
get in. Oh, go ahead.
I will head down directly after Nash goes.
Okay.
All right, Nash.
I'm in.
Varel sort of motions. All right. Nash, you climb in. Varel, you climb in. And everyone begins descending down this passage. It's about 100 feet down. Now, Varel, do you want to do anything with the entrance? You notice that you've left it open and the light is approaching your area.
Yeah, I'd like to, as we do Ninja Turtles it, back on top as we go under.
Okay, and as you do that, you also move some rocks in, and they sprinkle down and trickle down past everyone, and you close out the light just as it begins to get close, and everyone's in complete darkness as they descend the ladder. We're going to move the map over.
And you've been prepping some serious
Yep.
stuff in here.
Now this map is quite large, so if you want to find yourselves, you're about mid-south.
Oh,
no, I
there
have-
we are.
I have to update people's vision because they do have dark vision, so some of you may not have vision.
Oh my lord. This is very down there.
You have dark vision, Nash. Stanley, you're good, I believe. Yep, and Hope, you're good. And George, blind as a bat, is also going to be joining us.
Dead weight. That guy.
Just give me some time.
Yeah, literally, let's make him dead weight at some point.
Just give me some time. Let's get George. Let's get a George token for you guys. There we go. He can't see anything. He is a teat guard, and so everyone descends down the ladder. Oh, he doesn't see anything. What do I do? Okay. So, what order did everyone move in? Sorry, it was
I was in the lead.
Stanley, then Hope,
Then Nash, then
then
Bro.
George, then Nash, then Burrell.
Oh, Georgia.
All right, so you all descend, and you're in this narrow, at the bottom, it's cavernous clay walls, oily, very slick. When you touch the walls, your hands immediately have this black to them, so all your fingertips are kind of blackened from the edge of the ladder as you walk down. There's sort of this quietness compared to up above. Once the lid closes, it just becomes dead quiet. You don't hear anything. You make your way to the bottom cave, and you see you're at the end of a very narrow cavern passageway moving in one direction. So we can free action this a little bit, although I would caution you not to move ahead too quickly. Stanley, you're in the lead, blocking everyone else's passage.
All right, I will just turn around and I will say, we're in a relatively close area, so I don't think I have to super yell to him, but
You're in a safe zone, and yes, you're all close.
Vorel, you did a very good job distracting that creature so we could all get away. Thank you.
You are welcome. He was overcome by my frightening visage, it seems.
No doubt.
Surprised he didn't take any damage.
Well, on that note, we have found ourselves in a momentary reprieve, to say the least. We don't know what's ahead. Does anybody feel they might need a short rest before continuing further?
Yes. I would love.
Sounds good.
Yeah, we need a minute.
Okay, everyone can take a short break to expend hit dice to regain hit points. And any features that recover on a short rest, you can reset them. This does not include spell slots. Those are long rests.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not for you other casters, but for some of us casters.
For bards,
Well, no, but for warlocks.
Bard, just sing to yourself, feel better. All right. Hit dice, you say.
so everyone just leans up against the walls. Puts, if they're tired, they put their hands on their knees and.
Now, while we're taking a moment here, and I have your attention and your willingness to speak with me, I feel it's time that maybe I address the lot of you. Nobody felt the need to consult with me when we were deciding the fate of Buttons. I understand I wasn't there at the time, but I've taken the name of the voice for a reason, and I'm going to voice my opinion now on the matter. I've watched passively as at least two of you have struggled with morality as of late. Nash, you have adopted Pod seemingly for no reason other than the fact that she's like a daughter to you. She has proven useful, but that is apparently all it took to earn your trust. And you yourself said if we're not going to do this to try to make the world better, why bother doing it? I agree with you, Nash, as hard as it is for me to admit. I think you're right. I think we've been perhaps going down dark roads as of late. And I think maybe it's time we turned a corner on that. Vorel, you sat there and you said that Diantalis offered wisdom. I don't blame you for seeing it. That's the trick that he pulls on everybody. It's not that Diantalis lies to people. He tells them the truth that they want to hear. We are in a predicament, and we are in a predicament because of me. But the problem isn't Buttons. The problem is that I wasn't honest up front with all of you. The solution isn't killing him. The solution is learning from the mistakes that I've already made. Now, he has been a friend and an ally, whether we want to see it or not. Yes, he's made life difficult, but he's also been there to try to help all of you when you were taken. He's not brave. He's not strong. Yet there he was with me, seeking out help to get all of you. And even now, he is where he is because he felt you all should have known the truth. And he was right. I'm not going to tell you that we need to bring him with us. But I don't think that means we need to kill him. There's no reason for Buttons to die. Nash, he gave you a scroll to help protect you. Does that not earn him at least the same favor that you grant Pod? Should we cast her off if we find her annoying at some point? It's not how we should treat people. And that's not how we should treat our allies. Hope, I know you've been in a dark place. And I'm not going to presume to tell you what your vengeance should and shouldn't be. All I can tell you is that I have courted vengeance myself in life. Sometimes successfully, sometimes not. And the end result is always the same. Doesn't help. But Buttons didn't do this to you. There's no need to make a target out of him. There's no need for us to continue to sell our souls further just because it's the easy road. If you want to know which direction our moral compass should point, it's easy. Do the opposite of what Diantalis tells you to do. That's all I have to say on the matter.
You hear a voice. It's George. What the hell is he talking about?
George, don't worry about it. You were very brave. We're gonna get you out of here. This is something else entirely.
I can't believe I survived the Fragger pit. Thank you, all of you.
Think of the story you'll have to tell when we get you out of here.
I swore an oath to you. Get me back to my family. I don't want to serve the Suckmaster. But we have to find a way out and escape, right? What are you here? Why are we down here? What are we here to do? What? I have so many questions.
For now, just rest. Take it easy. We've gotten you out of the initial danger. There's more to come. Stick with us, though. We'll take care of you.
You hear a voice, Nash, going like, I don't get it. Did he insult me? Or was he saying I'm good?
No, it's more of a taking me to task for feeling one way about you and not that way about another. And he's probably right. I look at Hope thinking,
Oh, he's talking about the cat. The cat man.
yeah, the cat.
Oh, what happened to him?
Well, I kind of want to kill the cat.
But Stanley says we shouldn't kill the cat.
I know, and he's probably right. I hate to say this, but I trust Stanley more than I trust Diantalis.
Okay.
Or a lot of other people in this world. But don't worry about it. It's not about you. You're fine. Just relax. Stay invisible. It's fine.
Okay. You feel like the clenching on your shoulder lessen.
Okay.
All right. Does everyone want to contribute? Does anyone else would like to contribute to this conversation? Are we done resting?
Varel's deep in thought.
Hope's ready to go.
Nash is worried about Hope a little bit. Because I don't think she's having any of this Stanley talk.
At least she didn't steal an egg. What's that smell?
Oh, yeah.
Man, there is a very unpleasant odor emanating from Nash.
As
More
usual.
so than
Yeah.
usual.
Yeah, that's
More
the-
so than
It
usual.
smells
or
like
as
the
usual?
It smells like the frog hemispheres. That scent is coming from him.
Do people know?
Yes.
Okay.
It's not as pungent as it was up top, but there's definitely a
A
sense,
lingering.
a lingering stink.
Nash,
Yeah.
Did you take a frog hemisphere?
He's gonna jump right to it. Define take.
Are you carrying on your person, as we speak, a frog hemisphere?
Maybe. Okay, yes, but listen, before you get mad, I think this could help us. We need to understand what this stuff is. I don't know why, I'm just drawn to it. I mean, we got away, sure, but what if we run into one of those again? Wouldn't it help to have something to study? Maybe there's magic in there. Maybe there's, I don't know, other information to gain. And if not, we just throw it away. What's one missing frog hemisphere? There's hundreds of thousands of them in there. It's one.
What if it turns out to be an egg and it hatches and it latches onto your insides and consumes you?
Well, it'll be a little baby, though. It won't hurt anybody. It's just a little tiny little baby. Even if it is. I'm not afraid of that. I'm afraid when it's adult size. But this little guy's fine if it is an egg. And the minute, listen, here's my promise. If it hatches, I'll burn it or smash it or whatever you want. I just think we can learn something from it. And if not, that's okay too. We'll throw it away. We'll incinerate it. We'll feed it to George here.
I feel like, Nash, you're starting a menagerie of sorts. We've got a little zoo going. We've got a pixie. We've got a sphere. What else are we going to have by the time this is done? I don't care if you keep it or not. I just, I don't want you to be laden with pets by the time we leave.
Okay. I'll promise this. No more other pets. I won't pick anything else up. If it wasn't such chaos, we would have had a conversation about this and maybe studied it while we were here, but this seems important. And I don't know why it seems important.
Does it seem important? Because I'm thinking about it, Nash, and it's not seeming that important to me.
I can't explain why, but something in me says we need this and we have to take one. I know it sounds stupid. It sounds stupid to my own ears.
All right.
But I really want one. For some reason. Yeah.
This is a bad idea.
Okay.
But as it hatching, it will most likely attack you before any of us. I'm going to be okay with it.
Well, that's very charitable of you, Stanley, but I'm going to... listen, I told you I'll keep everyone else safe, and I'll dispose of it the minute things turn south or we decide we can learn nothing from it.
You have become a bit of a beacon of odor, though.
Well, why don't you prestidigitate the stink off of me?
That's not how prestidigitation works.
Oh, so it's a weenie spell. Fine. Well, listen, when we get up to the surface or wherever we get out of here, I'll wrap it tight in something so it's not smelly and driving everybody crazy. And plus, we're not going to be in a tiny cave like this again for a while. Listen, if the whole team says go throw it out now, I'll do it. I'll go around the corner and throw it back in the pile I pulled it from. Oh no, we went down a thing. I'll throw it up to the thing. I'll smash it. I'll smash it now.
Bad idea.
I'll dispose of it now and kill it now, or destroy it. We don't even know if it's alive. We don't know anything about this. Maybe it's worth money, Stanley. Hey, Stanley. Maybe we go to town. We find a vendor who buys, I don't know, frog caviar, and we say, "Yo, look at this thing," and he'll say, "By all that is holy under the great cross of Jesus Chrome, what you have in your hand there is the most valuable egg to ever grace these wastes. Here's all our gold."
That's a good point. People love the fragger. Who wouldn't want one of their own? We could sell this.
With a smirk on her face, Hope's gonna start getting her stuff together and very much obviously act like she's ready to go.
We're gonna have to leave town. I mean, assuming the worst, right? I pledge my life to you. We can't stay here. We're wanted men. So we take the froghemoth egg and we find someone to sell it to, and then we can live off that money for generations.
I'm starting to like George.
It's got to be an egg. What else could it be? It's definitely an egg.
Either way, it fetches us a bunch of money in a town we don't care that much about.
I think
I'm just
for the record,
telling you
I think
all.
Nash is smart
well,
to
friend.
have done that. I mean, it's smart to have done that. I don't know why it's so hard to convince all of you of the value of that thing.
We have a long history of traveling together and a history of decisions to weigh this one against.
I've been in the Teat Guard most of my adult life, and let me tell you, there's nothing they love more than to watch the Fragger dispense justice. And what there's got to be other civilizations out there that could use a justice dispensing Fragger. We could earn so much for this.
What if it's just poop?
That can't be poop. That can't be poop. Look at it. It's clearly an egg.
Just make a note, this is the moment I said this was a bad idea, and when it turns into such, I want you all to remember this moment, where we were, and what we were doing, and how awful Nash smelled in that moment.
And after he finishes saying that sentence, you hear a voice echo throughout the hall.
Great.
You hear this off-key sing-song. You can't make out the words. It just appears to be echoing throughout the cave. It's very faint. You hear it echoing.
Dwarves. Dwarves. Says Nash.
Why do you think it's dwarves?
Because dwarves are jolly and singy and they like to come down here and mine shit. That's what they do. It's the total stereotype of a dwarf.
The last ones we came across were dead. Feeding their dreams to demons.
Why would there be dwarves down here? I'm surprised everything's alive at all. And George looks, the fear crosses his eyes again. We're still in danger.
Well, yes, George, I did mention that we were still in danger. We're going to go ahead and proceed towards the danger now, so is everybody ready to go?
Yes.
Let's go.
All right.
Alright, well, I guess I'm in the lead, so...
Now move your guys down the hallway, all right? So just... I know nobody wants to trigger anything. You can follow Stanley. I'm going to move Stanley up ahead.
I'm just gonna say I would be doing so cautiously and as alert as possible.
Very good. All right, so let me see what you can see here. So you moved through the long cave up ahead. Being
Dark
very
vision still
careful
good
to
after the
see-
rest?
Yep, dark vision lasts for 8 hours, I believe.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, wow.
So you'll have it for.
That's a long time.
You make your way to. I don't know why you're on top of that. That's like an overarch, but whatever. That's. You make your way to an area where you can see the hall, the long cave. The narrow cave opens up into a larger room. And as you get towards the larger area, you can hear the singing carrying throughout the cave a little louder. So you move closer. Peer down to the room ahead of you, but don't make out any shapes. And it sounds like the singing is somewhere, but far off, not nearby. It's reverberating and carrying through the cave walls.
I would creep up to where it allows a little more room, and then I would motion for Varel to take point.
Okay. Hope you shimmy on up along the side too, allowing
Yeah.
up space for Varel to move on ahead.
All right. And out ahead of me, I see sand.
You see that there's at the edge of the cave, there's a small ramp leading down, opening into a larger cavernous room.
And the music's coming from out in front of us.
Yes, somewhere, but far away. It doesn't. It's reverberating off the walls. When you listen for it, it sounds like it's somewhere deep in the cave, and it's just traveling and reverberating through the cavern.
All right. Well, I will take the lead from Stanley and stand proudly at this precipice, this entrance to the greater room.
Okay, and you look into the larger room, and from what you can see, that you have a passage to the left and a passage to the right, and a passage leading forward. It's just muddy cave walls everywhere. It looks like it's... I mean, doesn't look like there's been any life in here for ages. You do start to notice a little bugs scurry, and because you're in the dark and there's no light, they don't really run from your location. So you see that there's quite a bit of insect life crawling along the walls and on the ground. Little centipedes, little beetles. Places seems to be alive with insecty life. And as you open up to the room, you can make the words out a little. No one's going to get to me. I'm the king. I'm the king. This is my place. This is my place. I'm the king. You can't be here, 'cause I'm the king. I rule here. This is my place. That's my water. That's my foot. I am the king of the cave. Of the cave. To my cave. You hear it just echoing everywhere throughout the cave.
This is his foot. This is his water. All right.
It's good at naming things.
Sure.
Should because of the map we're looking at, there's a difference between the two types of floor we're entering into. Should I be alerted by that?
No, it's only about
Okay.
a foot or two sliding down. Yeah, it's just a physical feature of the terrain below you. Nothing significant.
All right, I will motion Stanley and everyone behind me to stand still a bit. And I'll slide on down, not particularly being stealthy about it, but not being loud, and walk into the center of the room. And I want to do a survival, basically sniffing if there's any wind, if there's any fresh air from a certain way, noting what side the sound's coming from, and any tracks I may see.
Very good.
15.
Consult.
Hopefully you're not downwind from me.
All right. You smell around, and you can smell through Nash's stink to do the investigation that you need. And it smells like dank cave, wet, damp, lots of bug life. Probably a healthy spot for the kind of vegetation that you might find if you were to go in a cave looking for meats and mushrooms. The ground is sort of oozes a little bit of grease, as there's oil present, and you're beneath the moat, presumably, somewhere. You can tell that this place is alive with life, but not humanoid life. That there are denizens of the dark that that make this their hunting grounds. That this is a untouched, unspoiled area. The sound, as you listen between the left and the right and the front, if you had to guess, you would say it's emanating from the cave to your right. But you're not 100% sure. And the song continues. I inherited this kingdom, and now I am its guardian. And I will guard this water with my life. And I will slay anyone who comes in my cave. They can't be here. This is my freaking cave. And you just hear this yelling echoing.
I love him so much already.
Sounds like he might be guarding the gem.
Well, he's definitely guarding some water. Could use some.
I'll turn back to the group and point in the direction of the song.
Hope's gonna shake her head no. The big no.
Give a sort of like, here's the king.
Just gonna shake harder. Nope. As in,
At
she
least-
Hope's not going that way.
And I'll dash back to the group a little bit. At least he makes sense. He's saying exactly what he is, unlike everyone upstairs. This man is the king. He's not the royal regency and, oh, I'm just an officer, but actually, I am a vampire. But I have 5 gangs, each with different sects. And
Wait,
sometimes...
wait. Before you continue, for real, how many things did you say you were up above when you were giant? You're the mate of so-and-so,
True.
the conqueror of blankety blank,
Very true.
the king of... So how is that any different? Don't you think that'd be confusing?
But they're all true. I'm me. And those are my deeds.
So how is that not true for the people up above?
Because they... Well, look at this man. George, was it? Yes, George.
Whoa.
A man who would shoot us not an hour ago, and now has pledged his life. This man isn't singing, I'm king until someone else sets foot in here, and then I might change my mind. He is making perfect sense. I want to meet him.
Yeah, but I think he's going to try to destroy you if you meet him.
He just said no one should be in these caves. And he would probably kill anybody who came in.
Maybe he's not really a king. He's making that up. He just thinks he is. He's some wackadoo, just like everyone else in this place.
You think he might not actually be royalty, Nash?
No. Royalty of what? Who voted? I didn't vote for him. He's down here. I guess you don't vote for kings, but
Not how democracy works.
but he.
You don't know that?
There, where's the kingdom? It's a cave. It's a dirty old cave.
This is a fine kingdom. Look at all the bugs. There's molds on the walls for licking. Why, this could sustain us. Did anyone else bring any food? Because I'm planning to eat some bugs here. We're going to be down
That's
here
true.
for 3 days. You
How
may
many
want to
rations did you
respect-
guys bring with you?
I have...
Yeah, Stanley's got all the bags.
I have my rations. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no, I don't have rations. I forgot. I
I don't
ditched
have
the
any.
rations when we were in the math
Kind of went through a
cave.
traumatic experience.
There we are.
Yeah. Those are bottom of the math cave rations now.
So how many rations does the party have?
0.
Varel's bugs is what we're eating tonight. In this fine kingdom, which is the first damn place that's made sense since we got here.
I'm just saying, he said he was going to defend his kingdom. Maybe we shouldn't walk in there and piss him off.
If we can make an ally out of him, that would be nice. If we can't, at the end of the day, we were probably going to have to clean this place out anyway for when Monsoon's forces come through.
Are they coming down here?
Yes.
Well, they'll have to go through Frog Boy, won't they?
Well, they seemed okay with that.
And I got a baby grenade to throw back at them if they keep coming. Ah, now my idea of keeping it's not so stupid now, is it?
Wait a minute. What's your plan with the baby grenade?
Well, I'm
What?
just saying, things get real bad. I can throw it at them.
Throw it at who?
Never mind. Continue your stupid plan. Continue. Forget I said anything.
What exactly is your plan here with the baby grenade?
I don't know. I just am saying if somebody was running after me and I had no other choice, if I threw a big gloppy, nasty freaking frog egg at him, it might buy me some time. That's all.
Yes, we're really going to like having that when we're hungry in a few hours.
Perhaps it would make a kingly gift.
Well, that's
There you go.
That's a good point.
Well, shall you lead the way, Varel?
Hadn't thought of that.
He likes singing. Maybe you could sing with him.
That is true. I could answer his call. No problem.
All right, we are closing in on this week's end of session. I don't have a cliffhanger, and I don't want to hold anyone to a decision they made at the end of last week's episode. So I'm wondering, should we just end on Varel collecting bugs for everyone's dinner, or
Sure. That's fine.
does that
Sure.
sound like a good
That
spot?
seems good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
As good as
just,
anything.
just so you don't get, like, I have to do this thing because we decided last week. You can just set up shop here, Varel, and begin licking the walls and collecting the bug food.
Sounds good.
Is that how he collects them? He licks them and then gives them to us after?
No, that's
Well,
the mold
ask
on
him.
the lick. Yeah.
Ask him.
All
He's
right.
gonna lick some mold and eat bugs off the wall. And do you share?
Oh yes, anyone who watches bugs from Borel's bounty may have some.
So I have to eat bugs that his tongue has picked up off a wall.
No, he's licking the moss.
I'm gonna taste the frog ball.
Oh, what?
Are you gonna lick it or bite it?
I just want to taste it. I just want to touch it with the tip of my
Are
tongue.
you licking it or biting it?
Just
That's
just
I
a
will
tip.
take
Just
the bugs, Varel. Thank you very much, and I'm going to stay away from this.
no, I'm just gonna touch it, just like a little. Just touch it and see if it's
so
terrible.
you either have to lick it or you have to bite it. I don't know what other options there are for.
Well, just a little
for it.
flick with the tongue. It doesn't have to be a whole like blah, like up the side of it. Just like a.
Okay.
You know, like you do with the
pull
tip of a battery.
You pull the frog hemisphere from your pocket and move your tongue towards it,
Yeah. Yep.
and we fade to black.
Yeah, there's your cliffhanger.
Oh, there's the
Cliffhanger!
cliffhanger.
Cliffhanger. That's awesome. Best
It's
cliff.
sad that that's a really effective cliffhanger for me. I really want to know.
You really made a big deal out of this egg. Yes,
It started as a
it's
way to mess with you to see if you were going to do something I was wondering about, but now I'm obsessed with
thing.
it. Yeah, I'm obsessed with the egg.
Rel eats bugs, and Hope and Stanley and George look at one another, going like,
Indeed. Well done, everyone. As always in chat room, thanks for hanging out with us for this week's session. We should be back next week. The following week, I don't know where my calendar is. Hold on. We'll keep aware of our Twitter account, because we'll keep you guys aware if there's any changes around the Christmas weekend thing, because I think I might be out of town. It's all up in the air at the moment, but we'll be back next week. Whole new episode, normal Saturday time. Yeah, I think that's true. So if something changes, though, just kind of keep an eye on all that stuff, and we'll let you guys know if something changes. Thank you all for being here. Don't forget to go to therewillbedungeons.com. Want to partake in the show in any other meaningful ways, like sending us emails or contacting us via our Twitter accounts or whatever it is you're looking for. It's all there, including video archives on YouTube. If you miss something, I put them all up after. Of course, the VODs stay right here on Twitch as well. So check those out. I think that is going to do it for us. Any final words, anyone? I never do that, but does anyone have anything they want to say? No?
when I find myself in trouble, I hear Stanley say to me.
Oh, yeah.
I've got two words for you.
Lemon tree.
Lemon tree.
Lemon tree. It's really good. All right. On that note, that very high note, that'll do it for us. We'll see you guys. All of you. Bye, everybody.
My game.
This show is part of the Frog Pants Network.
Frog Pants Network.
Get more shows like this at frogpants.com. And scene.